Hey, this is Lawrence from financialthing.com, and today I'm going to show you how to use pies on Trading 212. So if you want to create a pie from scratch, maybe you want to just have all of your tech stocks in one pie so you can keep them together. It's really easy to do that. Again, you go onto the circle that looks like a pie, and then you just click on the pie tab over here, hit the plus sign. You go ahead and choose which stocks you want in there. If these are stocks that you haven't purchased yet, you can go ahead and add whatever you think you might want to buy in there. So let's go ahead and add Tesla. I'm going to add it to the pie. You're not actually buying anything, so you're just creating this new pie with Tesla in it. We'll go ahead and hit that, and you've got to make sure this adds up to 100%, otherwise it will not work. So if you put it at 66, the next button disappears, but now I've got it set at 100. And I'll go ahead and hit manually. That's how I want to use free funds in my account to buy this when I'm ready. So I'll hit next, and we can name it as the Tesla Super Pie. Create the pie. We can change the icon if we want. Now here's a new pie that I have right here. It doesn't have anything in it, but if I wanted to invest, I would just go ahead and click that. And then whatever I put in there would invest in Tesla. If I had other shares in there, it would allow me to set the allocation of what percentages I wanted to go into the pie and the different shares. If I want to delete it, I just hit pie options. I can personalize it. Here, change the name of it, change the icon if I wanted to do that. Update. Or if I want to delete it, it's got no shares in there right now. When I first purchased my shares on Trading 212, I did it through the desktop website on my computer, and I didn't realize that when you buy investments outside of a pie that you cannot use automatic dividend reinvestment for that stocks. Thankfully, Trading 212 updated their phone app, and that enables you to go ahead and create pies and add shares inside of those pies, and that way when you're paid a dividend, you can have that dividend used to be able to reinvest into the different shares. I'm going to go ahead and show you what I did here. This is my main investment page. Here you can see the investments that I purchased when I showed you on screen what I did. And here's the pie that I created, a dividend pie. Basically, I'm going to put all of these shares in here that receive dividends. I went ahead and added in here under the holdings. Go ahead and see now that I have AbbVie, Apple, and AT&T, which all pay dividends. If I wanted to add another share into this dividend pie, what I would do is hit edit. I'd want to make sure that this percentages add up to 100%, otherwise it will not let you do anything. So from here I can go ahead and change the percentages. Let's say I only wanted my dividends to buy 10% in AbbVie and more into Apple. Again, you got to make sure that those numbers add up to 100%, but you can go ahead and adjust what weight of the dividends go into which share, which is really cool. So I'm going to go ahead and set these to 33% so we can get it to 100. Again, I can go ahead, if I want to add more shares into this pie, I can hit this more actions link, which didn't exist on the last version of the phone app, but it does now. And here you can see import and export investments. Hit this import investment. So another share in here that I have that pays a dividend is this NextEra Energy. So I'll go ahead and add that into my dividend pie and how much I'd like to import. Let's put in 50%. So this is half the shares. Hit next. And now you can see in this dividend portfolio, I have NextEra Energy along with AT&T, Apple, and AbbVie. Again, now I'm at 110% of the allocations. I need to go ahead and even that out to make sure that it is 100%. What I could do is if I wanted all of my NextEra Energy dividends to go into those other three shares and I didn't want to buy more NextEra, I would just go ahead and put that to the minimum, which is 1%, and I could go ahead and add to Apple. And that's how you do it. And then you hit confirm import. Now I have those NextEra Energy shares inside that pie. So if you've created a pie and you decide you want to remove a share from it, it's very, very easy to do. Just click down here on the bottom, the pie icon. You can see here I have my 5 dividend paying stocks. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the Lloyds Bank shares from this pie. In order to do that, you'd think you would hit edit pie, but alas no, you have to go down to the more actions link at the bottom and click on export investments. So I'll go ahead and I'll click Lloyds Bank, and I'm going to go ahead and take out 5% of my Lloyds Bank shares just to show you this. I hit confirm export. Now I've removed 5% of my Lloyds Bank shares. So if I go back here to my overview page on my investments, you're going to see here that I have £826 worth of Lloyds Bank shares in total, but in my pie, under dividend stocks and holdings, I only have £784. So you can see how that's been split up now. It's a little bit confusing as it doesn't really show me how much I have outside of the pie, but you can figure it out yourself. And if you want to bring the entirety back into the pie, you just hit that more actions link at the bottom, import investments. Click again, here's my Lloyds Bank. I'll hit next. And you can see that there's 155.5 shares that are not inside of the pie. So I'm going to put 100% back in, and there you go. You can see the Lloyds Bank shares are now back inside the pie. So that's basically how you use pies. Pretty interesting, a little bit quirky with the removing on the sell side, but now you know how to do that. You can go ahead and use those pies to either keep things organized or use for dividend reinvestment, which, by the way, you can turn the dividend reinvestment off if you want to. You can see here, if I want to turn off the dividend reinvestment, I just hit that little settings wheel on the right and turn dividends off. So dividend income won't be reinvested and will be added to your account's free funds. So that's how you use Pi. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please hit like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.